Hi guys, I hope you're all doing okay. It's been a while since I talked about the Ridiculous Jenkins, so I want to catch up with what's been going on. If you remember from my last video, I was saying that he didn't go to court for non-payment of child support and that he faked a seizure to get out of it. Well, it turns out I was wrong and he did go to court. I don't know the ins and outs of it. I don't know if it was in person or by Skype or whatever, but he did go to court. So what I'm thinking is, why the fuck did he fake a seizure? Because I know damn well he didn't have a real seizure. This is a video he put out on his channel like a day or two before the fake seizure occurred. How bizarre that we never saw him lifting a finger before all this came about the court date. And now he's deep cleaning the bathroom floor. To me, it's almost as if he planned to have a seizure on the bathroom floor, because that's where it happened, according to Methany. To be fair, if I was planning to be lay on the bathroom floor, trying to convince somebody I was sick, I'd clean it before too. Nothing worse than lying in piss while she's pretending to have a fit, allegedly. So my question is, why the fuck did he pretend to have a seizure if it wasn't to get out of court? Was that the original plan, but then he just backed out of it because he thought, nah, it's just stupid? Or is it to get out of the housework? I mean, a couple of days before, he did peel that one potato. Maybe he's trying to tell Methany that he needs to take it easy. I don't know why they can't just communicate. Always meffing around, these two. They've also moved rooms in the homeless shelter they're in. Sorry, motel room. Because this one's a tiny bit bigger.
To a queen-size bed, a bunk bed. And then the bed is a queen-size bed, not a full. And of course, we're going to move the bassinet over as well. So if you can do the math, that's more than enough bedding for everybody.
Oh yeah, loads of room. Next she's explaining that Spew did all the moving because she was watching the kids. Pull the other one, Methany. Why are you going along with it? Why are you pretending that he didn't fake a seizure to get out of doing the work? Because you're making out that there's got no other choice than for him to do it. If he'd really had a seizure, you know damn well you'd be doing it.
Isn't Drew supposed to be sore right now? Of course he's sore right now, but like I said, it's just him and I, and we have to manage and find ways to get things done.
Spew looking all suspicious there, carrying that TV in his hoodie, like he's trying to hide his face from the busies. Bet you've done that a few times, haven't you, Spew? It looks like the footage from somebody's dad's Ring doorbell that they've put on Facebook. Like, does anyone recognise this fella? 50 quid for a name and address. And there's always like 20 people in the comments trying to grass someone up who they don't like. Like, yeah, that looked like Smackhead Steve. Lives on Pool Road, where's me money? Anyway, they've moved into this marginally bigger room. And apparently to stay in this motel, you have to spend at least one night away from it. So they spent a night at a hotel. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, because like on one side of it, the kids are getting out of that shitty motel for a night. You know, like a change of scenery. Or is it just more upheaval and giving them more home insecurity? Because if you think about it, they've gone from that tiny apartment to an even smaller motel room. They got kicked out of there, so they went to another motel room. Now they're in the slightly bigger one. And now they've gone to this hotel. And then the day after, they're going back to the other dingy motel where they've at least got a bed each. But that's about the only good thing about it. How much upheaval can a kid take? So now they've gone back home to the motel, like the homeless shelter one, where they're staying. And this is one of the main points I wanted to talk about. So there's a lot of speculation about how much Spew and Methany are making on social media. And I'm going to go on the absolute conservative end of it and say they're earning like $10,000 a month. And I'm telling you, that's conservative. They're probably on a lot more than that. And they've been making this sort of money since last autumn. And in that time, they had prior warning that they were going to get chucked out of the hotel they were staying in originally. Yet they couldn't put a bit of money aside for a deposit on a bigger place. Instead, they're staying at this hotel for free because it's a homeless shelter, taking up the space of someone who would actually need that space because they've not got any money coming in, certainly not over $10,000 a month like used to. I'll go into that more in a minute, but I also wanted to talk about the 4 cats at the abandoned. So Meth and Spew were earning like at least $10,000 a month, yet they couldn't find vet care for the cats. They couldn't afford to pay for the cats to be treated for fleas and other skin conditions that they had. They just chucked these 4 malnourished cats out because they couldn't be arsed taking them with them. So now she's got these citations and she's moaning about it, saying they weren't her cats. She's only admitting that one of the cats was hers. We all saw them living in your fucking apartment. No wonder Spew has to watch corn to get with you. Your breath must stink because you talk that much bullshit.
So we received 3 citations for the cats that we quote-unquote abandoned.
There's no quotes needed. You did fucking abandon them.
I wanted to just kind of go over that a little bit. So when I went and talked to the animal control lady, I kind of just ran this theory by her. A logical point of view, like, we don't have anything to do with these cats at this.
Because you abandoned them?
We can't find resources.
Because you didn't try?
Reached out to me, haven't been legitimate about it because, let's be honest, you weren't. You weren't serious about helping until it could bring clout to you.
Or they didn't help until you actually kicked them out. Because they didn't think anyone would be so heartless. They're not helping the cats for clout. They're helping the cats because they're decent human beings. And you literally kicked them out onto the street.
And another thing that I mentioned was that this community, this apartment complex, there's a ton of stray cats. There's a lot. And everybody in that apartment complex puts food out. We all just took our turns taking care of the cats out there. None of the cats out there were skinny, scrawny strays.
So what I'm getting from this, Methany, is that all your neighbours saw that you weren't feeding your cats enough. So they were feeding them as well. That's why they weren't skinny.
So I said, we can't keep them. We have to let them back out. Are we really held accountable for these cats that we can't keep anymore? And she said, technically, no. If it was a stray you took in and you're letting them back out into the wild, that's not on you. So why I have 2 citations for 2 strays, I don't know.
Because they weren't strays. They were your fucking cats, Methany. Anyway, we need to move on from this because I'm getting too fucking pissed off. But she's got a fine for $300 and she can't keep cats for 2 years. Sorry, any animals for 2 years. Which is a fucking joke. 2 years is nothing. And $300 is ridiculous. What about the other cat as well? Is she not going to get one for him?
I don't have her. It breaks my heart that we don't have any of our cats. Honestly, every day it's been, we miss the heck out of our cats.
Yeah, of course you fucking do. I talked over the part where she was saying the thing they were so sad about was that they couldn't have another cat for 2 years. It's fucking ridiculous that they're even letting you have a cat for the rest of your life. And fake crying that you miss your cats. Fuck off. Anyway, let's get back to the housing because I'm just getting too mad.
Talk a little bit about housing. I've seen a lot of people just assume that we're just trying to sit up in this motel for the rest of our lives. Your time frames are completely unrealistic. I've never seen anyone flip their life over in less than a year.
So from that, I'm assuming that she's planning on staying in this homeless shelter for at least another year, even though they're making a fucking fortune compared to most families, and taking a much needed room away from some other homeless family. It's just selfish as fuck.
Even a year is pretty good timing. I'm the type of person that focuses on the immediate need. Housing is an immediate need, but it's also something that we need to plan for. We need to make sure we're not jumping into anything that doesn't last us.
Yes, but surely you could rent a house with 2 bedrooms for a year. You could easily afford that and then move on from there. That's how other families do it. They start off with a smaller house. And then if they need one, they get one when they can afford a bigger house. They don't just mooch off the homeless shelter when they're not really in need.
About possibly getting something mobile and being the traveling type family. We've also been considering moving out of state because there's a lot of other states that have way more affordable housing than Oregon. Just because the housing is affordable doesn't mean that groceries are more affordable in that state, other costs of living. There's lots of things to consider. Lots of things to consider that take time to consider. And it's
So what I'm hearing from that is she wants to stay in this free accommodation or really cheap accommodation for a year so they can save up enough money to buy a 3 or 4 bedroom house, which she spoke about before in a different TikTok. She said something along the lines of, I'm not going to move out unless we get a bigger place, like a 3 or 4 bedroom house. That's not how life works though, is it, Methany?
we're going to lose our benefits and we're going to have to pay out of pocket for all of our means.
You mean like every other fucking family? Did you not know that when you were earning all this money, that you're no longer entitled to benefits? That's literally how every other family works. The benefit system is there for people who need it, not for people who are earning grands every month on TikTok and want to get free accommodation and free food and benefits as well. Sorry guys, it's one of my pet hates. People milking the benefit system and taking up space in homeless shelters when they don't need it. It really gets me back up. Anyway, I think we're all caught up on the Ridiculous Jenkins. So I'm going to leave this video here with Methany freaking out because she's got a spider on her. I hope to see you soon.
I think it was in this sock bucket that we had in the closet.